This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so welcome everyone to session on cloud performance engineering in DevOps and SRE. So please confirm. I'm gonna share my screen. Yeah, and I hope my screen is visible. Um, I you can see the Isha Training Solutions website SRE trading course. Yes, can somebody confirm?
Yeah, we can see.
Perfect. Okay, so we were discussing on this in the last demo session that we met, and we will spend some time today. So today agenda is like we're gonna start our course journey. We're gonna talk briefly about how we are gonna go about the topics that's gonna flow, the flow of the topics, the course. We're gonna talk about that today, and eventually we will start our main course. That's the and it's the first day. You can consider it's like today is the day one. And so you don't think that you have missed anything, right? So it's going to be day one. So let me go about the course first. So this is the website where you can find all the links, what is the topics and about the course, right? The first thing that we're going to start here in this course is cloud. Okay. Remember the four things that we discussed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that in a notepad. Okay. So the first topic that we're gonna have. So first of all, this course is gonna be for 35 to 40 hours of live sessions, and this course is a mix of live sessions plus recording, right? We know that. So if not, we're gonna go about that. So 35 to 4 hours live sessions that we're gonna meet every weekends, 7:30 to 9:30, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna meet. So approximately 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. We're gonna meet for every weekend, and this will, with that pace, this course is gonna take around 2.5 months, right, to complete 35 to 40 hours of live sessions. Along with the live sessions, we have recorded sessions as well, right? In this course, because this course is a vast course. It's a very vast course. If somebody has gone over the syllabus, they would understand it's a very vast course, and it's so difficult to complete that in 40 hours, 35 to 40 hours. So what we have done, the topics that is you can go on your own, right, with your own pace. Uh, we have put that in the recorded session, and the topics which are complex to understand, must required. So we have split we have a balance here, and we are covering approximately 80 hours of content overall. If you see 80 hours of content we have overall we have 80 hours of content, and we have split into these two live sessions plus recorded sessions. So what you're going to find in the live sessions and how we are going to plan. So the live session will happen like this, the way we are meeting, and you can ask me any questions, right? You have the luxury of the option of opportunity to ask me any question about your work, whatever problem or issues that you're encountering, or any challenges that you have, or anything to do with the course topics, anything you're practicing, not getting it. So we can have the discussions here. The first topic that we start is AWS, the cloud part. And here the the USP of this course, what I feel, what I have got the feedback of everybody, of all my learners in this time, is that we take it from scratch. I don't expect my audience to know a lot basics. What is IP, port, these things, right? I need my audience to know. Apart from that, all sorted, right? So we will take it from scratch. So I'm not expecting any prerequisites knowledge as such from my learners. So you can be rest assured that everybody can follow this. And we'll talk about cloud first because that's the foundation. And everybody we'll be talking about what is cloud and everything, and everybody would be creating an account in AWS. And we'll talk about AWS. That's what it is. So it's going to be AWS. We have multiple cloud options. We have Azure and GCP as well. We cannot cover all of them, but if you know one, you can easily learn others. Why AWS? Because it has the largest market share. So if you're going for the interview with a company, so there are more chances that the company is using AWS. So 35 to 40% of the market share is being handled by AWS. Then 20% is being handled by Azure. Then 10% is being handled by GCP, and then they're mixed. So that's how it is, right? So we have the largest market capture. That's why we're talking about AWS. But if you already know Azure and GCP, so you're good because you're going to understand it easily. Because the use case of using cloud is same. It doesn't matter. AWS is from Amazon Web Services from Amazon, and then Azure is from Microsoft, GCP is from Google. But the use case remains the same. Why we use cloud remains the same. The UI would change, the look and feel would change, but the main use case would remain the same. If I need the server, what is the use case of using cloud? We have I need the server, right? So in AWS also you can get the server, in Azure also, in GCP also you can get the server. We need storage. We want to store data, so you need storage. And storage options is there in all. We need to create users, so user management is there in all. Security features, we this there with all. So learn one and you can easily learn others. That's how it is. And that's how even I have learned. I know four cloud service provider now: AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, OCI, and I have worked in those four. So it's just start with one and you can easily learn others. So we'll start with AWS, our journey, and it's gonna be there for approximately weekends. This is gonna take 3 weekends because it's a very in detail we discuss about that. It is as good as, after completing these 3 weekends, it's as good as that you can start preparing for your solution architect exam, associate exam. It's going to be to that level. Not exactly, not like just you can write exam immediately, but you need to work on it. But you would get a head start, for 50% head start, and then you need to learn something more, practice something more for the certifications. But 50% of the part I'll take care. You'll get a great head start for the certification if you're looking forward to get one. Right? So 3 weekends is going to be approximately, as you can guess, approximately 12, 10, 12 hours here itself, right? Parallelly, in the recorded session, when these things are going on, I would expect all of you to cover Linux part. Linux part is recorded. What I have realized after my teaching experience, right, that people are comfortable with Windows. If I ask them how to open a file, how to search for a text in a file in Windows, it's easily Control F done. But if I ask the same thing in Linux, struggle. Because see, why Linux is important? Because all the enterprise applications are deployed in Linux operating system. You cannot help it. It's not Windows. The natural choice for the enterprise applications, your web server, your application server, your database server, it's in the Linux. They get installed in the Linux operating system. And if you need to troubleshoot it, you need to check the logs, you need to read the logs, work in Linux. So you need to be comfortable working with Linux. So that is very important. So along with that, we're gonna take up this live session, but this is gonna be you're gonna be expected to complete this approximately 4 hours. This is gonna be for 4 hours. The Linux session, and it's from scratch again, from what is cat, what is pwd, what is a cell, all the directory commands, cd commands, and basics, changing chmod file, vi editor, like you get comfortable, right? So from very basics, right? And then these things will go on, right? And again, in the recorded session you will be getting Java performance engineering here, 10 hours of Java performance engineering. Why this is important? This is important for the troubleshooting mindset. If you are working in a Java application, how to troubleshoot its performance, how can you help developers finding the root cause, how can you work with developer to improve its performance of Java applications. So you need to understand about the Java process, something called heap, JVM. We need to understand JVM because the Java code gets executed in the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, how it gets executed, what are different memory area that we have, like memory area that we have. One of the memory area is heap because all the objects, Java objects, gets allocated in the heap. So we'll talk about GC algorithm. We need to learn these things. GC, what is the GC algorithm? Different kinds of GC algorithms: serial, parallel, CMS, G1 GC, Jet GC. We need to learn these things. How Java manages the memory, right? JVM heap in the memory. So we need to talk about that, and in that we'll talk about the how to read the heap dump, how to take heap dump, how to read it, how to interpret what is the problem statement using Eclipse memory. We have the tool, mat tool, right? And we'll talk about the thread dump, how to analyze thread dump, right? We'll discuss about these things in the, again, it's going to be recorded sessions here. So along with when things are going on in the live sessions, you'll get recorded sessions, and you're expected to go over on your own, right? This is going to be 10 hours, and you can ask me any questions. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can ask me. We'll talk about it, right? So here again, the next topic that we take up in the live session is the microservices. What are microservices? How it is different from monolithic applications? How it is different? Why we're talking about so much of microservices? Why not monolithic? What advantages it offers? Where do we deploy microservices? We'll talk about that. So again, the topic would come for the containerizations. What which helps in the containerization? So we'll talk about Docker engine. We'll talk about container engine like Docker. Talk about container engine, and the popular container engine is Docker. Talk about that here. Then we'll talk about Kubernetes, container orchestration engine. So Docker is the container engine. Again, if you don't know right now, don't worry. I'm gonna just outlining things for everybody here. We'll talk about container orchestration engine. It's not about just creating the containers, right? We need to make sure that it can be used in production systems. And without orchestration engine, we cannot work in production systems because we need high availability, reliability, auto deployment. We need these features. So we'll talk about Kubernetes here, and all the things are hands-on. Okay, it's not just I'm going to talk about it. No, I'm going to show you things. Everybody would be having a cloud account. I'll guide you how to get this account. So right now, just as I'm logging here, everybody would be from couple of days itself. Everybody would be getting a page like this. I'll guide you how to get this one if you don't have already. And we'll be practicing things here in the cloud. When we talk about that, we're gonna spend 3 weekends. It's completely hands-on. Completely hands-on. What is EC2? We cover approximately 20 services. 20 services we cover. So you can think about it, and it's hands-on. I'm going to give you a demo of things, and you're expected to practice and ask questions. Not at the same time, you're gonna, because we don't have that luxury of time that I can give you time to practice also at the same time. It would be too difficult. For EC2, I can wait for some time. See, if you are somebody who wants to do hands-on right away along with me, so you should have two monitors with you. You should join with your laptop. Don't join with your mobile. Have two laptops, two screens, one laptop, two screens, so that you can practice, because we go I go slow. And if you can manage the time, because you will get time. If you have decided that you want to do it along with me, you can do it. We'll have time. Use two monitors, Don't use mobile to connect. So yeah, so you can plan, you can use one mobile if you don't have two monitors, so you can use mobile, one laptop, and you can do that hands on as well. So we're going to cover 20 services, and we'll talk about Kubernetes. Here we'll talk about EKS. So Kubernetes is also in detail. Okay. So when I talk about microservices, Docker, so these two topics, microservices and Docker, would go about 1 weekend. Yeah. And then Kubernetes is going to be 2 weekends because it's a big topic. Okay. Along with in the recorded sessions, you will be getting again. This is going to be the my recording. I have recorded it, and we are also giving recordings of because it's an SRE code. So we would like you to automate using some scripting language. So Python is something we are giving recording. That's not going to be my recording. Somebody else at ISA has recorded it. So but you will be getting it. Python, you will be getting it. Python and Java. So these two are not my recordings, okay? I'm gonna so clear about it. So apart from these are gonna be my recordings. These two are not gonna be my recording, but those who have recorded, it's good. I have personally looked into it. They are good. That's why it's part of this course, right? It's from the one of the uh, best trainers at ISA. So again, this is gonna be approximately 20 hours. So it's quite 25 hours. So it's gonna be quite important, quite lengthy. You can go over on your own. So it's a programming coding, right? So you would be getting these recordings. You'll be getting these recordings. So going to be 2 weekends, and then we'll talk about uh, DevOps. We will talk about Jenkins here. We'll talk about automation using Terraform. We'll talk about Ansible. We'll talk about observability using tools. We're going to talk about tools like Prometheus and Grafana. We will talk about ELK, CloudWatch. Again, the Linux shell scripting, you can also put that in the monitoring part. We're going to cover it. So you can also mention Linux monitoring, but that's part of this Linux sessions. So Linux monitoring is also there. So this is going to be approximately 1 weekend. We're going to finish that one session here, one session here. This is going to be uh, two sessions here, right? So again, if you club this again, 2 weekends you can club like that. So that's how it's planned, right? And that's what we're gonna take approximately 12 12 weekends, 10 to 12 weekends, depending on how smooth we go. So that's about the course. We'll talk about SRE topics,
Uh,
SRE,
your sharing
cloud,
has stopped. Roshan, your sharing has stopped. Yeah, okay. Now we can
and
see.
I couldn't understand. I'm sharing my screen.
No. In between, like it was not showing up. Now it is showing. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. So we'll talk about cloud database performance. So we have quite a lot of things to be covered here, okay, and that's why we have mixed, right? That's why we have mixed these two, the live sessions as well as the recorded sessions, right? So that's about the course, and you can go over the detail in the same sequence. We're going to talk about it: cloud, microservices, containers, Docker. In the same sequence, we're going to talk about it, right? And this all the things it's there in this in this link. If you go over it in the SRE topic, we're going to cover about these topics. This is about the microservices. This is about the Docker, Kubernetes, uh, DevOps, Jenkins, monitoring. This is again going to be the recorded session here. Again, I have just mentioned it. Automation using Ansible, Terraform. Right. So everything is mentioned here. Again, Java and Python are recorded sessions, self-paced recorded sessions. So we have given this here. Right. So if you go over this, you will understand about the course in detail. Along with the live sessions that we're talking about, you will be also getting PPTs, right? So I'm just showing you one of the batch, um, May 23, right? This batch, and you would be getting this sort of uh, the Google Drive access where you will find PPTs, documents. So look at this first PPT. I'm going to open this first PPT here. This is about the cloud, AWS, right? So cloud computing. And if you see the depth of this PPT is going to be approximately 150 slides. It's quite, because that's why 3 weekends. We're going to talk a lot, and we discuss a lot in this. And if you see this PPT, it's going to be approximately, yeah, 150, approximately 150, 170 slides. Again, this PPT second one is for the Linux that we have. And in the recorded session, I have gone over this PPT itself. Earlier, I should take that part of the live session, but again, we need to balance it so that we can finish it. If not, this course can go for 6 months also if you don't do that balancing of live sessions and recorded sessions. So earlier I should take this, but now we have put that in the recorded session. So I'm going over these PPTs in the recording. So again, I have just listed everything here. The all the commands, segregated the commands in these 15 topics: cell, directory navigation, file, command. So like for a few of you, it would be like, okay, yeah, that's fine, good, because it's quite common, right? And you have to know this. If you don't know these things, it's a problem. Okay, it's a big issue. So if you know, I'm going to assume that most of you would know that. But if you don't know, it's you have to know it, because these are the very basics, fundamental things that we're talking about, right? Because we always work in Linux operating system, so we need to know basics. Definitely, no doubt about it, right? So this PPT is about that. Again, the PPT number third is about the container engine, Docker microservices that we have. Again, I will talk about Docker here in this topic. Docker, what is microservices? How different it is from monolithic applications, right? And how do we create? What are the difference between virtualization and containerization? Right? How do we create containers? So we have in detail about the commands, Docker commands, as you can see here, the various Docker compose. How do we create multiple containers in one go, right? So we need to understand what is microservices. Then we'll talk about containers. How do we create these things? So we learn about this in this PPT number 3. In PPT number 4, we have Kubernetes in detail. Again, Kubernetes is going to be quite a lot of discussions. It's going to be the default kind of platform going to be future. Every company is using it. I'm sure some of you would agree that if you uh, like, you may agree on this, right? That if you go for the interview, you would be asked some questions on the Kubernetes. How many of us are facing that? That okay, yes, the questions are being asked, but we don't know the how to answer and what it is, right? So some of a few of you would be in that boat also. I'm sure, because in the interview it's going to be quite common. Yes or no? Could I get some acknowledgement from any one of you? Do we see this kind of issues, questions being asked in the Kubernetes containers, microservices? No. I
Yeah,
hope.
definitely. I definitely think questions will be asked, but right now I'm not giving any interview, so I'm not sure. But definitely
Yeah,
this will be in the question.
right. Because that's what, if the deployment, if the architecture is going to be Kubernetes based, containerization based, they have to check the candidate whether they understand these things or not. Again, so it's going to be quite a big, approximately 100 slides, as you can see. We have a lot of things in Kubernetes. So, and then we have in DevOps, the fifth is the DevOps that we have, the fifth slide here. Again, going to be quite a lot of slides here again, and we will talk about this. So the kind of this kind of a reference for me, what I need to talk about, and it's a good thing that you can also go over it and kind of revision. These slides will help you to do that. So approximately 50 slides, 50 slides here for Jenkins DevOps. So along with that, you're gonna have the SRE. modules, and here we're going to talk about Java performance engineering, right? So the 8 hours, the 10 hours of recording that we're talking about is going to be based on this slide, Java performance engineering. So a lot going to be a lengthy again PPT here. We'll talk about to 10 hours, right? So and we have put a lot of things here, different uh, algorithm that we have, GC algorithm, how it works, minor GC, major GC, and you're going to find a lot of details, different GC algorithm options that we have, we cover, right? What is G1 GC? In everything is like from as I mentioned, scratch, right? And what are different uh, the algorithm to be used, the parameter, the arguments to be used for the better performance, and reserve what is reserve percent. So we'll talk about a lot of these things, how to take heap, deep dump, thread dump, and you're gonna have a lot of such things here in this mat as I'm showing you here about the mat, how the mat would be used here for the what is shallow heap and retained heap, right? So a lot of these things in the Java performance engineering again, a lot of slides. Uh, and I'm going to also share a lot of documents here as part of Java performance engineering. Based on my experience, I'm sharing a lot of PDFs for you as good learning things along with the recorded sessions. These PDFs will help you get better understanding of Java performance at the one place. Right. So then we'll talk about databases. How do you make sure that in the cloud databases you maintain availability and performance? Again, we'll talk about that here. We have the SRE module. We talk a lot about SRE, what is SLA, SLO, SLIs, right? And different terminology that we have. You might have heard this word resilience. What do we mean by that? What is fault tolerance? What is high availability? Do we even understand these things? And how do we achieve that? And again, what is disaster recovery? What is deployment? How things, if application gets deployed, so how to take care in production. So again, a lot of such things. Monitoring part, the observability, the Prometheus and Grafana, the hands-on experience setup, right? It's going to be there with ELK, as you can see here. So a lot of content is there, okay, in this topic, in this course, that I can even, it has taken a lot of time for me to prepare. So a lot of content is there. We're talking about, um, and on the daily basis you will be getting recorded sessions. So I'm going to just show you how you will be getting recorded sessions. Okay, so this is going to be
Um,
like,
yeah,
okay,
so Roshan, do we get access to this SRE Cloud P means this folder, May 2023?
exactly, when you enroll, definitely that's the part of the course, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I already enrolled.
Right. So you'll be getting Santosh, absolutely. So it's about time. So we will consolidate a batch. So there will be a separate WhatsApp group, Santosh, if you're already enrolled. So maybe tomorrow we will get a separate WhatsApp group, and we will be notifying this to all of the enrolled. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So this is going to be the recorded session, as you can see here, 19th August. So this is, so we are last batch or second last batch. So this is the recorded session we have been sharing. So you can see here the timings, and we have been taking so many recorded sessions. This is the live session we are talking about here. This is the live session, exactly the live session that we have completed. So yeah, this is the live. This is about the live session exactly. So this is gonna be that we are recording right now, right? It's gonna be as one of the recordings gonna come here today, 1 hour, right? So it's gonna coming here. So we'll be sharing a group YouTube playlist, and where all the recordings you can go over, and it will be a lifetime access. So along with recordings, the PPTs material, right? And you can ask me any questions whenever we meet. So that's about the course. I
Yeah,
hope we are
Roshan.
clear, right? Yeah. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, Ram.
For example, this weekend, in weekend normally two sessions, okay, 2 days.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. So that
Right.
access will give in the Monday onwards. Am I right?
The recorded session, right? Yes. So usually
For
the team
practicing,
does.
for listening.
Right, 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 Ram. So absolutely, you can expect this to be getting on Monday. Absolutely, yes.
Monday or Tuesday, 1 or 2 days delay also. Both in
Right,
the same
right.
week. Same week.
Yeah, 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 definitely. See, it's all about somebody pulling the recording. I don't do that because the recorders are in the cloud. So somebody at ISA would do that. And if you need early access, you can mention in the group as well. So there will be a separate WhatsApp group created, and there will be people who working in ISA. ISA employees will be there, and we can ask, please record, please upload this. If there is a delay, I can also ask them. But usually by Monday, Tuesday max, it gets uploaded. Yes, you are right.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all these are recorded sessions of this, as you can see here. Yeah, so this is about this last batch. You see, you can see this batch started at what date? It's August, September. Started in August, September. It completed. Um, Today is going to be the last session. Today, I'm going to take up the last session on this. Just after this, we're going to meet that for 1 hour. Q&A session there's there for the last batch. So it's going to come. It takes approximately 2.5 months. Okay, 3 months, 2.5 months. It takes because of the we have so many things to discuss, and I can take up some extra topics. Anything if you need some discussion, I'm happy to share. Okay, I don't mind exceeding one session, two session extra. That's perfectly fine. We can meet. Okay, so that's about the course. Okay, you can take an informed decision. Those who have not enrolled, perfectly fine. Okay, uh, we are giving you an opportunity to know about the course and take an informed decision, right? But know these things. You need to know these things for your career. So that I can tell you for sure, right? Where to learn from, how many places to look at, that's your decision, right? Take an informed decision. So that's about the course that I wanted to cover, and I'm going to start directly with the course topic now. Okay. Any questions we have on the course before I start? Please ask me.
Russell, Sanjay here. Quick
Yeah.
question. So I think once you take this 2.5 months training, right, and after that we
Mm-hmm.
complete a recorded session, I think to prepare completely on our end, I think at least 6 months will be needed, right? Because there's so many things to cover. You will be covering, then we need to practice and understand and be prepared for interview, correct? I don't
It
think
all
there.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
See, I got your question, Sanjay. See, it's all depends on what level you are, right? If
mhm.
whatever I'm talking is completely new for you, right? Everything is new. Cloud new, Docker, Kubernetes new, Jenkins
Yeah,
new, and all that everything is new. Obviously, it's gonna take time, right?
yeah,
So there
yeah.
is no, but if you know, there are people who knows already 50% and they join this course to enhance the knowledge. So for them,
Sure.
it's gonna be quick. So it depends on person to person, right? We cannot generalize this that it
Right,
will take
right.
6 months. So it all depends at what level you are, but we are covering from a scratch because we want
Mhm,
to take it for everybody, right? And it's going to take it's for the career. Okay, we are talking about 30 lakhs to 40 lakhs salary here. Okay, it's not like
mhm.
5 lakhs or 6 lakhs salary we're talking about. We're talking about the advanced people, advanced course, good salary bracket. So we need to prepare, right, to reach to
Yeah, yeah.
that salary bracket. So think we are targeting that, not simple freshers job. Every those who join my course from last 3 years, I am seeing all are 10 plus, mostly is
Mhm.
8 plus, 6 plus. Freshers do not join, and even I don't encourage much. I want them to know performance testing first, have some background about it. But freshers can also join because because we are talking from scratch. Because nowadays, even from the freshers, it's expected. Cloud,
Right, right.
Linux, so I always ask them even if fresher joins, I always tell them take a Jmeter course with ISA. There are good trainers. So take Jmeter course along with this course, and then you can target performance testing or SRE, and it will good for your career. I always encourage them. So that's
Okay.
how it depends on person to person, Sanjay.
Yeah, no, sure. No. And what about interview preparation? Like, will you be sharing some questions and something like
See,
interview
I can
preparation tips?
share you that. See, once you know this thing, I can give you
Uh-huh.
10 links. Okay, I can give
Okay.
you 10, 12 links. I take up courses with Edureka and IntelliPath Simply Learn as well. I
Mm-hmm.
do share links. I can give you the links are handy with me. I can share those links, and you
Okay.
can go over it. Anybody, you can also find in the Google those that once you know the thing right, you would know what is gonna be asked. Right?
Okay.
But I can share. That's not a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Because you will be, your questions will be more practical, day to day oriented, right? What you are currently
The
working on.
right. See, the way
Yeah.
we go about each topic, right? I
Mm-hmm.
always go from a performance engineering and troubleshooting mindset. I
Okay.
don't take I don't take up any topic just for the sake of knowing. It's always gonna be in the troubleshooting because I have involved into troubleshooting, production, live troubleshooting. So
Right.
I
Right.
always take up any topic in that context. So with the way we go about a topic and to understand and learn about a topic, that will good enough to solve 60% of the any
Okay.
question.
Okay. Okay.
The way
And
the way we
similarly,
talk about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and similarly, we can also plan for our interview on that line, right?
Right.
What you do.
Those
Yeah, okay,
lines.
got it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Got it, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Any last question before? Yeah, Musarraf, you have raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a confirmation. So the class timing
Yeah.
is like a 1 day in a week or 2 days? Because I heard
Two
someone
days.
saying, oh, Saturday,
No,
Sunday
no,
both.
no. Saturday and Sunday both 7:30 to 9:30
Oh, okay.
p.m. Yeah.
All right.
IST. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Yeah. So all the doubts, right?
Hello.
If you have, we have. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sir, actually, I having almost 8+ years of experience in performance testing and performance engineering.
Okay. Yeah.
So how it is useful because SRE is a completely different. It is a non-functional, functional, non-functional only.
Mm.
But SRE is a completely different site reliability engineering. So how it is useful to my career?
See, your career. I belong to the same career what you have. Okay, performance testing
Okay.
engineering. I have been to that source. Okay, see,
Yeah.
it depends upon your roadmap. What do you want to do in your future? You need to plan your career, right? So
Yeah.
I am going to assume that, or you can agree with me. So you are doing right now performance testing, right? You would be knowing some tools like LoadRunner, Jmeter, and you would be doing some testing, right?
Yeah.
And you would be also doing some analysis, server side analysis, right? I'm not sure how much you're doing, but you would be doing it, right? And
Yes.
as a performance
Yes.
engineer, you're expected to know. So
Yes.
for
Yes.
that only we have this. Okay. Earlier I had to take only this. There was a separate thing. So this is
Yeah.
going to be if you know about JVM architecture, memory management, comfortable with thread dump, heap dump, you're good.
Yes.
So you troubleshoot things. So it depends how much knowledge you have. So we're
Yes.
gonna talk about this. That's gonna be performance engineering. But you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
the I'm gonna ask you a simple question, Ram. So as a performance engineer, what is the real job of a performance engineer?
Just we will identify the issues and give you some recommendations if possible, mainly to
Right.
team
Basically,
to
basically,
reduce.
if you look at right, I got it. So you asking getting the help the developers, right? See, for
Yes.
helping the developers finding the root cause, eventually your goal should be the real, right? I'm talking about. See, think about it as an expert. Whatever you are doing right now, being 8 plus,
Oh,
and what you would be
oh,
doing at 13 plus would be two different things, right? I
yes.
believe.
Yeah.
Ideally, a performance engineer is expected to help developers write efficient code to that
Yes.
level. I'm talking about the proficient, okay, expert level. By looking into the
Yes.
code, okay, no, you are not using this right algorithm. Use this algorithm, or helping developers understand the dump, heap dump, thread dump, understand the issue, sit with the developer because
Yes.
they have written the code, and helping them fixing the code, if making the code efficient to take less time to execute that code. That's the real job of a performance engineer. If you
Barabar.
want to go towards that, right? If you want to go
Huh.
towards that zone. So this particular recorder session, along with your what you should do if you want to go towards that. So
Hmm.
I was planning with a course, but I can guide you right now. You need to go about understanding data structure and algorithm, right? You need to be very good at that. We are not covering as part of this course.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
you need to be very good
Yeah.
at. So if you want to do go via that route,
Okay.
so you need to be very good at coding basically. To be short, performance engineers at proficient level should be very good at coding, writing efficient code, not just the coding, but writing
Yes. Yes.
efficient code, big O
Hmm.
notation, right? Those things. At the expert level, big O notation we call it, right? Taking less
Hmm.
time, less memory, less time to execute a code. Can we,
Yes.
if a
Yes.
code have you written in two for loops, can you manage with writing one for loop? Right, so those kind of tuning, we'll talk about algorithm, linked list, should we use linked list or hash map. So if you
Yes.
want to go towards that, there's a career map. Yes, you can go ahead and do that. So we are not covering these two things. Okay, I'm planning up with a course, but we are not covering these two topics here in this as part of that performance engineering roadmap. But
Okay.
for the performance engineering troubleshooting, we are covering this. Okay, we have this and we have the observability as I talked about. We have this because and why? So this is for both. Okay, performance engineering and SRE, because SRE, what you need in SRE. First of all, do we know? First, you can ask your question. Do you know cloud? Do you know Kubernetes? Because there are topics here which is generic, okay, generic
Uh,
and required for everybody, but particularly for performance engineers. So you can ask your
yes.
question. If you know cloud, okay, good. Do you know Kubernetes? Do you know containers? Do you know Docker? Do you know Kubernetes? Do you know Jenkins? You are good. Then if you know all these things, and if you know this also, you don't need to join this course. And if you're looking for a career in performance engineering, okay, I'll be very honest
Yeah.
with you, you can
Yes.
pursue,
Yes.
to learn these two topics which I'm not covering as part of this course.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so you can decide. But if you don't know these things, this course will be a
Mhm.
value addition for you because you have to know it.
Okay, once we completed this SRE, so
Hmm.
shall I go with cloud? My profile means Jmeter and Jenkins, this all these things. SRE are performance engineering.
First of all, you can try for two jobs: cloud performance
Uh,
engineer, okay, working in
okay,
the cloud Kubernetes domain. You can work, put your profile as you know containers, you know
yes,
microservices, you have worked on Kubernetes, because that's how the industry is going, right? Everybody
yes,
is
yes.
using cloud, everybody is using containers, everybody is using Kubernetes. So do you even know those things? If you know those things, it's good. But if you don't know,
Multi-purpose.
find a way to know it, because those are important even for a performance engineer, for an SRE engineer.
SRE also almost same because the course and content. If you want to see the cloud and this SRE, both are same. The topic wise. That's the reason I raised this query.
Exactly, exactly. Both are similar. That's why we have designed this course, because there is not much difference. How
Huh.
SRE would be different? See, SREs are mostly expected to work in production. Okay, production,
Hmm.
live, troubleshooting, and for SRE, the observability is very important, and the troubleshooting mindset. And that's why a good performance engineers can become a good SRE engineer,
Okay. Yeah.
because they have the technology. We love technology, right? As a performance engineer, we are
Yes.
not a DBA, but we need to know how to performance tune a database, correct?
Maybe yes.
we are
Mm.
we are not an application server admin, but we should know how to tune WebLogic, WebSphere also, right? So we as a performance engineer, our hands are everywhere. From the technology perspective, we should know Kafka. If Kafka is there in the technology, we should know that. Actually, we are supposed to know each and everything about architecture. Whatever is there in the architecture, we should know about those from the technology perspective. That's the first thing a performance engineer and SRE engineer both should know, because
Yes.
we need to troubleshoot things. We want to not just Jmeter. It's not for us, it's not about Jmeter, it's about understanding the technology, what it is using. If it's using Kafka, our approach would change. If it is using SQS, there is a service, our approach would change. If it is So depending on the architecture, our approach of performance testing changes. So this course talks about those things, the cloud part, the microservices, the Kubernetes, right? And along with the database, cloud database performance, right? Along with automations that an SRE engineer needs to know, Terraform, Ansible, right? And observability in detail that an SRE engineers or a DevOps engineer needs to know. So that I hope you got the answer right, Ram.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, sir. Yes,
okay, you
yes,
can
I got it.
you can take a call, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Sure. Any last questions? We have got 10 minutes. I would like to talk about the course. Any in 1 minute? Anything else? Any topic? Any question? Good. Okay. So the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna start a topic on the cloud. Okay. So today, okay, I'm going to tell you about what is cloud. Okay, I'm gonna close all those things. I'm gonna have only one PPT with me. Okay, so when we use this word cloud, right, what it is? Because for many, those who do not understand, it's a big word for them. Okay, cloud. Okay, I don't know what is cloud. It's nothing. Okay, in 10 minutes, if you are in that zone, what is cloud? You really don't understand. In 10 minutes, that thing would be sorted, and from now onwards, from today onwards, you're gonna think, okay, cloud. You understand. See, irrespective forget about anything, okay, so we the when we deploy, let's say, the flipkart.com or amazon.com, right, these are websites, applications, make my trip, right? So these are the applications that we use popular websites. So to deploy this application we need some server, right? Server, your laptop could be a server, but again it depends on how many users are accessing your application. You require that much resource. If you are having an like an IRCTC, Indian Railway ticketing, right? So there's so many people book tickets at the same time. If you are an HDFC Bank or SBI Bank, ICICI Bank, you can just imagine how much massive scale their application would be, right? Massive. Most servers, it's not simple application. If there are few users, I can deploy my application on my laptop also. That my laptop could be also one of the server. But when you require a lot of servers because of the scale, usually what people do, like amazon.com, they set up a data center. Okay, so let's say the owner of amazon.com, Jeff Bezos, right, to host this website amazon.com, what the guy has done, or similarly other people also do that, they set up a data center like this. So to think about the cost, okay, they procure a land, multiple acres of land. You can see this, right? Multiple acres of land in the outskirt of a city. They will construct an infrastructure like this building, and they will purchase all these servers. Because they have the massive workload, right? So many users, it will not be enough. Few cores of VM would not be enough. They need a lot of servers, so they do this kind of setup. Company like IBM, Oracle, HP, they have their own data centers, big giants, and they procure the servers. They literally purchase. So think about the cost part, right? Purchasing the land, building such an infrastructure, purchasing all the servers, operating systems. These servers will generate heat. Think about your laptop also generates heat. One laptop with few 8 core, 16 core, they generate heat. Think about these servers put together, how much heat they would generate. So they have to take care of cooling infrastructure 24 by 7. These servers cannot run out of power. So they have multiple power sources. They as own grid. As you can see this on own grid. They can use some solar also, but heavy solar. A lot of, so it's a billions of dollars goes here. Not everybody can afford this. Only the big giants players can afford this. So when you set up this kind of data center, these and let's say you are employed by these companies, right? So you can say that you're working in on-premise. That's the on-premise because you own it. You own it means the company where you're working owns it. So that's on-premise. But not everybody can afford it, right? So what people have done, people like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they have set up these kind of data centers across the globe, like a business model, business across the globe. Multiple countries they have in India also. If I talk about AWS, they have set up these data centers in Mumbai region and in Hyderabad region, in India also. Similarly, in US, Europe, Australia, across the globe, they have the presence. Now, when you use, let's say I am a startup, let's say today I am getting some business idea. Let's say I'm Swiggy. Swiggy is just 4 or 5 years old, I can say, right? Or anything, good new application, think about it, Uber, Ola. So they are the new applications, right? So I don't have that much of invest or capital with me to set up a data center, the huge cap. So what I do, I reach out to these AWS guys, Azure GCP guys, that boss, I want to use some servers. I need to deploy my application, swiggy.com. I want to deploy some application, right? And can I use some servers? So they would be happy because they for them it's a business, right? Yes, they would say yes, absolutely, you can use our server, but you have to pay some rent, right? So how we live in rented apartment, right? Same way we have to pay rent for the services that we're using. What we're using from them, we will use servers because I want to deploy my application. I have recruited 10 developers, 20 developers. I have written the code, Swiggy code or whatever. Just think about any application. Okay, I just want you to imagine a application, live application. So I'm not sure if Swiggy has their own data center also. Just think about any application. So you have the code with you because you have recruited 10, 20 developers. They have written the code and you want to deploy the code. So, but you don't have the server, that much of servers. So you reached out to AWS, Azure GCP, that boss, please give me some servers. I would like to deploy my code. Yeah, they're happy because for them it's a business. So we deployed, we use their servers, storage, right? And as long as we are paying the bill, it's all cool, right? My service would be operational. Everything was perfectly fine. So that's the cloud. Okay. So when you leverage, when you use some services as a rent, that's the cloud for you. Okay. That's the only definition. At the end, the infrastructure remains the same. Whether you own it, so it's all about the matter of whether you own it or you rent it. When you own it on premise, when you rent it, it's cloud. That's all. That's the definition. That's the difference. So let's say I want to use AWS to deploy my code. I have the code with me. I have 20 developers with me. I have some business idea. Fine. I want deploy. So what I do, so should I call AWS or what is the process of using the server? So what they have done, they have given, every cloud service provider has given a beautiful console. All we need to do is log into this console. If you go to aws.amazon.com, that's a very popular aws.amazon.com. So we can create an account. Everybody can create an account here. They offer some free tier also. You can create an account, right? So I'll just show you how to log in now. So go. I have created an account here, and you would get this kind of console. So what they have done, they have made it on demand self service. On demand self service. All the cloud service providers for their business to grow, what they have done, they have made it on demand self service. Anybody can create an account and use services. You are your own architect here. If I need to get some servers, go to, so there are services. There are some services like EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. There are some services like EC2. If I need servers, I will go to EC2, get some servers, and I will deploy my application. So that's how it is. So it's all about services. If I need some storage, S3. So I want to tell you the Netflix. I hope everybody watches Netflix Hotstar, right? Match is going on in Hotstar. They use AWS. Okay, the entire Netflix content that you watch is hosted in S3. So S3 is the storage service. Simple storage service. S3. The name is S3. Simple, S for simple, storage service. So the entire Netflix content is stored here. So Netflix is also using AWS. So that's what. So Netflix also would be having some user account like this, and they have deployed a lot of content in S3, and they have made one application so that users can access those content. So it's all about that. So they have given this on-demand self-service, and you get bill. You can use whatever you want, and you get monthly bill. If you don't pay the monthly bill, your services will be stopped. Simple. That's how we interact. If there are some bills, if I don't pay the bill, I will not be able to even log in. So there are some bills for me because I'm using it for the learning and training purpose. I don't have much bills, but I have seen bills like $300,000 also a month. So right, so 300,000, so 3 lakhs dollar a month. Okay, so it's a big amount. So but right now you see very, because I'm using it for some different purpose, learning and training purpose. So you don't see much bill here. But if the moment I stop paying the bill, I would not be able to even log in also. They would give me 1 month, 2 month, some reminders in the email. Look at this, I have one month pending bill also. If I don't pay this bill, after 2 months, I will not be able to even log into this account. That's how it is. So they give you this console, cloud account, use whatever you want, and they would give you bill and pay them regularly. If you don't pay them, the services would be non-operational. So right, that's how it goes. So AWS, just to talk about the brief history about AWS was launched in 2007 by the guy named Jeff Bezos, popular guys, founder of Amazon.com, and they started with three services only that time. It was just EC2 for the server, S3 for the storage, and SQL, simple queue service. The other three services only was launched in 2007. But if you look at the services now in 2023, it's 200 plus services. It's growing. It will keep on growing depending on the use case. Now AI, ML, lot of services have come based on the technology. Machine learning services have come. Internet of Things services have come. Game development. So they make things simple. They make things simple. That's why they use it. People use it. And there's a competition going on between AWS and Azure. They make things simple for the customers. That's why they are popular. And they're, if you just know cloud, also your career could be established. If you just know AWS, but a lot of services. Okay, nobody knows all the services. Okay, nobody knows 200 plus services. A lot of those there are. So it keeps on growing. Their infrastructure keeps on growing. If you look at I talked about the infrastructure, right? If you look at just the infrastructure, they keep on growing infrastructure. They have the presence in, as you can see, 32 launched regions as of now, 102 data centers. AGs are called data centers, and they're growing, coming soon. They're coming. Their regions are coming in New Zealand, Malaysia, and Thailand, and Canada West, right, and in Germany. So they're growing. Their data centers are growing, right? So that's a quick summary about cloud. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna talk in full length from next weekend. Just a quick. I just thought to give you a refresher, right? So we'll with a full swing for the next weekend, guys. So yeah, so do enroll if you're looking forward value addition from this course. It's gonna be a very interesting journey. Okay, I'll make things simple. I'll make things interesting, and after 2.5 months, you're gonna find a good difference in the knowledge. Right, I'm gonna impart all the things that I have learned in my career to you, and you can ask me your questions, your challenges. So we'll discuss. So it's gonna be interactive sessions, right? So that's all from my side, guys. From if you have any last few questions, please go ahead. Yeah, I'm done for the day. Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody understood the cloud part. Those who were not knowing, yes. Can you give me guys thumbs up? Yes, in the chat, thumbs up. I hope it was a value addition for all of you. Perfect, guys. Good.
Yeah, yeah, it was nice.
Thank,
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you.
thank you so much, Sanjay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. We'll meet next weekend. Thank you so much.
Yes.